students. Here is new video for you, the cell organelle nucleus. Now this is the diagram of nucleus. The nucleus is having centrally placed nucleolus. The cytoplasm present in the nucleus is called nucleoplasm, which is shown here in a pink color. The yellow colored nucleolus is present at the center, and nuclear envelope is there, which is covering all around the nucleus, and there are nuclear holes. Then the next slide is telling you what is the exact structure of the nucleus. So here the nucleus is the most important part of the cell, as we know, and it controls all the cellular activities as our brain controls our bodily activities, isn't it? So it is referred as the controlling center of the cell. It was first discovered by Robert Brown in 1831 in plant cells. Okay, so this was actually discovered by the Robert Brown scientist in plant cells. Then the study of the nucleus is termed, the study of the nucleus is also called as karyology. The nucleus is present in all eukaryotic cells, each and every organism which is eukaryotic, they do have the eukaryotic cells, they do have the nucleus, and it is absent in mature RBCs. Okay, in eukaryotic cells, in organisms also sometimes it is absent. In which cells it is absent? It is absent in the mature RBCs, then it is also absent in the platelets and lens cells of the eye. Okay, is that clear to you? Right, let's move to the next point. In eukaryotes, the nucleus is surrounded by a nuclear membrane, and prokaryotes, the nucleus is not surrounded by a nuclear membrane. Okay, so this is the difference. In eukaryotes there is nuclear membrane present, but in prokaryotes it is absent. Such a nucleus which is not having the nuclear membrane is called nucleoid. The nucleus occurs at two phases. Okay, so the nucleus is found in two types or two phases. One is mitotic nucleus and another is interphase nucleus. The nucleus which is involved in the division is called mitotic nucleus. So when there is division is taking place, and that before that the nucleus is called as mitotic nucleus, and the nucleus which is having or it is involved in the metabolic activities is called as interphase nucleus. So basically the nucleus which is present at the time of the nuclear divisions or the cell divisions, the nucleus is called mitotic nucleus, whereas whenever the metabolic activities are taking place inside the nucleus or inside the cells, that time the nucleus which is present, that nucleus is called interphase nucleus. Okay, then generally a cell contains only one nucleus. We know each and every cell is having single nucleus or only one nucleus, but exceptionally in some cases two or more nuclei could be present. Based on the number of nucleus, the cells are classified into following types. One is enucleate or anucleate type. So when there is no nucleus present in the cell, like for example as we saw here just now, that is RBC in man, platelets and sieve cells in plants, there is no nucleus, and therefore such cells are called as enucleate types. Such cells are called enucleate type because there is no nucleus. Okay, second one is mononucleate type. So mono means single. In mononucleate types a single nucleus is present. Example is amoeba. Third type is binucleate type. There are two nuclei present. Example is paramecium. We have already studied the paramecium in your 11th class, that is, the paramecium has a small sized nucleus, and one is large sized nucleus, macro and micronucleus, right? So it has two nuclei in it, so it is called binucleate type cell. Okay. Next, multinucleate type. The multinucleate type itself tells you how many nuclei are present. Multi means many. Many nuclei are present, and these are again of two types: coenocytes cells present in protist and plant cells as well. Second is syncytial cells present in the animal cells. So in short, the multinucleate type cells present in the plant cells is coenocyte cells, and the cells present in multinucleate cells present in the animal cells is called syncytial cells. Then the nuclear membrane. There are two membranes of the nucleus. On the outer membrane there are ribosomes present, and in the inner membrane there has electron dense proteins called fibrillar lamella. There are pores present on the nuclear membrane. So many pores are present on the nuclear membrane. There is no pore, but actually these are not exactly the pore or empty part of the membrane, but there is a tube like structure present, and that is called annulus. Okay, we will discuss it in detail in the next video, but the size of the annulus is 100 angstrom unit. Okay, so this is the nuclear membrane that we will talk very soon. Okay, so this is our nuclear pore complex. So on this nuclear membrane there are pores, as we said. So this is about the nuclear pore complex which is present. So here you can see the cytoplasmic side. See this diagram very carefully. You will find the two black colored structures, that is outer and inner membrane of the nuclear membrane. Okay, nuclear envelope, right? So this one is cytoplasmic side, and this is nuclear side of the nuclear membrane, right? So this is cytoplasmic side, which is present towards the cytoplasm of the cell because it is the inner side. This is nuclear side, sorry, this is cytoplasmic side, means it is outer side, and this is nuclear side, means it is inside. So this nuclear pore complex is present, which is having such structure. The nuclear pore complex, in short NPC, perhaps the largest protein complex in the cell. Okay, so what is it exactly? It is the largest protein complex in the cell and is responsible for the protected exchange of components between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. So what is exchanged here? Because this is a pore, this is a tube having a central pore inside, it is responsible for protected exchange of components between the nucleus and the cytoplasm, and for preventing the transport of material not destined to cross the nuclear envelope. So very safely they exchange the substances. The cell exchanges its substances from outside to inside and from inside to outside through this nuclear pore complex. Then the nucleoplasm. The nucleoplasm is rich in enzymes helping in DNA synthesis. So obviously the nucleoplasm which is present must be doing something, must be helping in the synthesis of DNA. So what should be there in the for the process of synthesis of DNA? Obviously different types of enzymes are required. So all the enzymes required for the DNA synthesis are present in the nucleoplasm. Then the ions are also there along with the enzymes. Some ions like magnesium, then manganese, for the activation of the enzymes are also present. So we know some ions are very much required for the activation of the enzymes. So the magnesium manganese ions are present here in the nucleoplasm for the purpose of activation of the enzymes, right? Further, the point uh, tells you about the pH now. pH of the nucleoplasm is about 7.4 plus or minus 0.2, means it could be 7.2 sometimes, or it could be 7.6 sometimes. So it is the range of the nucleoplasm, pH range of the nucleoplasm. Then the nucleolus. So what is nucleolus? Nucleolus is present inside the nucleus, isn't it? So the structure which is present inside the nucleus, centrally placed nucleus, that is nucleolus, and this was discovered by Fontana in 1874. The nucleolus is absent in lower organisms like bacteria, yeast, and some algae also, and also in the cleaving cells in mammalian RBC and spermatozoa. The nucleolus is absent in all those organisms including cleaving cells, then mammalian RBCs and spermatozoa. The nucleolus is surrounded by thick covering called perinucleolar chromatin. So if you see the structure of nucleolus, you will find some membrane like structure, but it is not a membrane. It is surrounded by thick covering called perinucleolar chromatin. Okay, so note this point. The perinucleolar chromatin is present surrounding the nucleus. It is not any type of plasma membrane or the structure like nuclear membrane. It may be continuous or with holes. Sometimes it is continuous, sometimes it could have holes in it. The perinucleolar chromatin projects into nucleolus. Sometimes it is projecting inside the nucleolus, perinuclear chromatin projecting into the nucleolus to form intranucleolar chromatin. Intranuclear chromatin is nothing but projections of the perinucleolar chromatin inside the nucleolus. Okay. The perinucleolar chromatin and intranucleolar chromatin are rich in DNA. The interior of the nucleus is filled with a proteinaceous ground substance called matrix or pars amorpha. The matrix contains a number of fibrils and granules. The fibrils contain RNA and the granules contain protein and RNA. So these are the important points about the nucleus and nucleolus. Nucleus and nucleolus, which is present at the center of the nucleus. So let's move to the function now. Now let's see what type of functions does this nucleus carries. The first function is metabolism. Okay, so it is doing very vital role in the metabolic activities. Nucleolus controls the majority of the activities of the cells, and it is also regulatory organelle in cell metabolism. Different metabolic activities it is involved in. Okay, so metabolism is one of the important function of the nucleus. Second is heredity. Since the nucleus contains DNA molecules in its chromosomes, so it could be definitely playing important role in the process of heredity, isn't it? Next is differentiation. Differentiation is the function of nucleus. It controls cell differentiation during embryonic development. The presence of nuclear enzymes such as DNA polymerase, DPN synthetase, etc. points to the fact that DNA replication and transcription occur mainly in the nucleus. Next function is RNA synthesis. The synthesis of ribosomal RNA also takes place in the nucleolus. Then exchange of materials. the exchange of materials from the cytoplasm into the cell and from the cell into the cytoplasm takes place with the help of this nucleus. Next is support. Support. Nuclear membrane provides a surface for the attachment of structural elements of the cytoplasm such as microtubules and microfilaments. So microtubules are present, microfilaments are present, which are attached to the this nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane provides a surface for the attachment of structural elements of the cytoplasm, which are called microtubules and microfilaments. So definitely, as they are present attached to the nucleus, they are involved in the or they are supporting the, they are acting as a support system of the cell. So these are all the functions of nucleus. Now there are two functions of nucleolus. Okay, so nucleolus, the first function of the nucleolus is RNA synthesis. The nucleolus is the active site for RNA synthesis. The nucleolus synthesizes 70 to 90% of RNA in the cell. And ribosome formation is another function of nucleolus. So ribosomes are also prepared, they are synthesized inside the nucleolus. So this is all about the nucleus structure and functions, nucleolus structure and functions. So this is the end of the video. So if you like this video, please share with your friends and subscribe my channel. Thank you.